Hi everyone, it's Lonnie, and today I would like to try my hand at making an envelope out of a tag. So what we'll need is some 6x6 papers. I picked some out to try. We'll need something for the top of the tag, and we'll need something for a closure. And I picked out some little round labels that I made beforehand. They are 1 inch across altogether, and yeah, so first thing we need to do is, because I wanted to put something specific inside the tag, I needed to shape that piece of paper so that I would know that it would fit. And so then what I did was I took out my scoreboard, and if you don't have one, it's no big deal. It just makes it a little easier. You could just fold it too with your hands, no big deal. So the first line I scored was at 1/2 inch, and then the second line I scored was at 2 3/4 of an inch. 2 3/4. What that does is, because this paper is 6x6, when you take off the 1/2 inch there, the half of what's left is at 2 3/4. So that's how I get those measurements. So then I fold this in half, and as you can see, I then have the flap for the envelope. Now, because this has a bit of a strange edge to it, I'm just going to trim that down. I didn't need to for my other ones. I'll give it a nice edging. For some reason, I thought I was going to end up cutting that off instead of folding it. Otherwise, I would have grabbed a different paper. But sometimes things come up, right? Okay, so there's my edge. Actually, that works out because it's more visible now. Now, with some paper, you have to be careful when you fold it that it doesn't crack on you. I'll show you what to do if that happens. All right, so since this is my verse, and that's what I want to put in there, I can actually shape my tag according to the markings I have here. So I'm just gonna follow that line. You can place it wherever you want. All right, I cut down my verse there too, just to help it fit better. All right, so then I have this flap, and I'm just going to let's clean up here a little bit. Yep, too much stuff on my desk. Isn't that just the way? Alright, so I'm just going to taper this off at the sides here so that it looks more like a actual envelope. Okay, so there's that. Now this one's starting to crack just a little bit. I'll deal with that in a minute. First, I'm going to put one of these things on there so it has time to dry. So I'm going to overlap it just a little bit there. And then I'm just going to put glue on the one side. And just wherever. Now you can decorate these as much or as little as you would like. And I'm not saying I'm the only one that's thought of this, but as far as I know, I haven't seen anybody do it. But I don't see all the videos either, so then I'm going to put a hole right about in the middle. And then I'm just going to undo that so it has a chance to stick. For the top of the tag, I just got some cheap ribbon at the dollar store. I really like it. It's pretty. So for this one, just pull that through at the fold and then fold the ends. Oh, except I forgot the must be Monday morning. So I'm going to put these reinforcements on. I'll do them on both sides. Makes it a bit stronger. Alright, so then back to this. Pull the folded out and then stick the ends through. And tighten. You can trim that down if you like, or you can tie a bow in there. That would be nice too. Alright, so then we also need to glue the end here. But before I do that, I just want to see how bad the crack is. Alright, so because it is starting to crack, I'm going to put some washi tape on it, and I'm going to use some stuff that I made myself. So I made this one. I'm just doing it to contrast that one, so I thought black and white was plain enough that that would work. So I'm just gonna cut this roughly in half. And if you need a reminder on how to make your own washi tape, I can show you that on another one in a minute here. Oops. I did want to line that up, so something like that. And then just reinforce the fold. Did not do a super job at that one. So I'm going to try another one. And I'll be back as soon as my furnace stops, I guess. Alright, I'm going to start a different one. Hopefully this one will work out a little better. I fixed the other one earlier. Alright, so I'm starting with a 6 by 6 inch piece of paper. And I'm going to fold it at 1/2 inch. Score it there. And then divide the 5.5 inches in half, which is at 2 3/4. Okay, let's try that. And so every one I've made has been a little bit different so far, and everyone has been a little bit different to make. Each one is having its little quirk, so I'm not sure if the paper's not the right size or if it's not consistently 6 by 6. I'm not sure, but this one is a little bit too wide. So I'm just going to trim this down so it fits better. Just a smidge. Alright, because it has to fit under the fold there. Otherwise it was going to be too bulky. And I'm just going to burnish my folds. Now you can do this one of two ways. You can either shape the tag to the verse, or you can shape the tag first and then shape the verse later. However you want to do it works. Since I already have this done here, I'll just use that. So I'm just going to cut along the lines there. To give me the same angle on both sides. So then I have the flap over here, and I'm just going to taper that off. And two, you can make this go in either direction. If I had made the cuts on this side, the opening would be on this side. Anyways, that doesn't really matter. At least not for this project. Alright, so I'm going to just put a hole there. This one is not cracking, so that's good. Don't need to fix what's not broken. All the paper seems to be different, but I will ink this one a bit. I want to ink the flap so people know or can see it, and I'll ink the edge. And the other side as well. so then I will glue the edge of the envelope first. And for this, we need it to go there, so this will be our closure, and I will glue down the 1/2, spreading it out so it dries faster, and then have to make sure something like that. You need it to overlap a little bit so you can put the flap in behind, but I'm just going to let it dry. Alright, so then you can decorate your envelope however you like. I'm keeping it simple for today. I will put some reinforcements on here. And then I'm going to tell you about the verse I picked today. It's a very special verse to me. Like so. And then make sure it fits. And it does. I'm just gonna flatten this corner a bit more. Edge. Alright, so for decoration, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it simple for this one. I think this is gonna go into my gentleman journal there. So what I just did is took some ribbon, stick it through there if it lets me, and then pull it through. So I'm just going to angle that a little bit more, like so. Alright, so I'm going to consider that one done. The others I did decorate a little bit more, but that's, like I said, entirely up to you. Also, the one I was working on earlier, it cracked really badly. So what I did to fix that is I put some homemade washi tape on there. Now, then I realized it cracked on the other side as well, and then I needed to make some more washi tape. So I thought I would show that to you in case you had forgotten or didn't know this little trick. So what I do is, because I had already used the napkin for that side and just ran out, I'm going to take the same napkin, and because I want it 1 inch wide, I'm going to take my 1 inch two-sided tape, And I have reduced this to just one ply of the napkin. And then I take the two-sided tape and I put it onto the wrong side of the napkin. And that is on purpose, because when you remove the backing of the two-sided tape, you're going to want the nice side to show. Generally speaking, I mean, there's always exceptions to the rule. If you're looking for a more muted washi tape, then you might very well want the wrong side to show. And I'm just making sure that it's stuck to the tape. So there you can see I have my homemade washi tape. And then I just cut it out. And save the rest of the napkin for something else. Alright, so I just see a few spots where it's not quite flattened. It's not really a big deal, but alright, so then I bring back my edge here. See, you can see the pattern of the paper on the other side or underneath. So then I just measure how long of a piece I need. Go right up to the butterfly. Like so. And then because it's a directional napkin, so I will put that on there. And then I just have to trim off the excess. And I'll be back after this furnace run. Okay, I'm going to try making one more. See if any other issues come up, because so far every one that I've made has given me some kind of problem. So do this one. Maybe this one will work without issues. So score it at 1/2 inch. Again, it looks like the paper's gonna crack. You could use thinner paper that probably would not crack, but as it is. Alright, so then 2 3/4. And I want the other side. Actually I don't want the other side. Maybe that's been my problem. You're supposed to score it on the opposite side of your fold. So maybe that will work. It would be nice if it was that simple. Okay. So then, that's going to be our fold for the flap of the envelope. That's the bottom of our envelope. Okay. And this one just wanted to fold a little differently than how I scored it. And again, with the cracking. Alright, so that's a busy pattern. And I'm going to stick that on now. Actually, that looks better than I thought it would. Okay, I kind of wanted to fold this way, except, alright, no big deal. I put the washi tape on that way, so there'll be another one of these. No biggie. Alright, so then I'll take my now template. One is a little you can use a template, but it doesn't mean you don't have to fix something. Okay, so then I'm going to cut the flap just to taper it. Okay, and then I see that crack over there, and so we need another piece of washi tape. There we go. Alright, so for this one, I did do it on the wrong side, or on the right side, however you want to phrase it. And I don't know if you can tell. I can tell. This one is much more pronounced. This one is not so much visible. So it could just be a matter of preference, depending on what look you're going for. And then at least I don't have to worry. These cracks are now fortified. So, okay, we need a hole at the top. I think I want a gray one for this. So the verse, there was a time in my life when I had walked away from the Lord, and then after some time I recognized that he was calling me back. And so that's a story too, but anyways, I did come back to him, but I had some issues that I felt I needed to deal with before I could fully come back to him. And that issue was smoking. I had started smoking. And I was ashamed of it at this point because I got myself into it. I started smoking on purpose. And so I felt like I needed that to be gone for me to come back to him. I also knew that I couldn't. I had gotten myself to a place where I was addicted to cigarettes, and I just wasn't able to stop. So I asked the Lord for help. I asked, well, some people might say it's not so much asking, because I felt at the time like I put a few demands on my request. And so some of the demands went like this. Hang on, let me get this out here. I have a few more that I can choose from. I think I'm going to go with redeem today. Seems appropriate. All right, so where was I? I had made demands on him. Okay, so the demands were that, well, let's see, it was a while ago, so I wanted it to just be over. I didn't want to go through any 12-step program or cravings. I felt like the cravings would be the worst part, so I asked that he take away the cravings. And to me, that's a demand, because who am I to tell God how to do something? But anyways, I was young in the Lord at the time, and it's amazing how he meets you where you're at. Okay, so that was just one demand. At the time, I was married to an unbeliever, and so I felt I would be a bad witness to him if I would try to quit smoking on my own strength again and would fail. So I asked the Lord that, you know, it would be a permanent work. What else? The typical stuff, you know, like when my husband is smoking around me, that I not get cranky, because I didn't want it to be a situation where I had given it up, but then I was resentful that the other person was still smoking. So there was that. Anyways, I think you probably get the idea. I made some demands that the Lord graciously and patiently, he met me there. He took care of me. I also asked for a verse to help me remember, and I asked for a song that the verse would coordinate, or let me put it this way. It was hard for me to memorize verses, or so I thought. So I asked for a song so that the tune could be applied to the verse. And at this time, I didn't have a verse yet. Gosh, it's hard to do two things and talk. So yeah, one morning I had my cigarette. First thing, you know, wake up, have a cigarette. So I did that. And then I went to my desk, and my Bible was open on my desk. And as I walked, I don't know, I did something at my desk, and as I was at my desk, the Bible caught my attention. And so I looked down, and there was this verse. I mean, there was other verses too, obviously, but this one caught my attention. It says, "The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart rejoices, and I give thanks to him with my song." That's Psalm 28, verse 7. So, yeah, the verse caught my attention, and there was something about the verse that really stuck out to me. Come on. Really, it's gonna... There we go. There was something about the verse that really piqued my interest, and that was this part here where it says, "I am helped." And it was written just like this, "I am helped." But the way my eyes saw it was "I am," as in capital letters, as in how he referred to himself in the Old Testament, the great I am. I am helped. So when I saw that, it was the great I am has already helped me. And so I thought, oh, that means it must be done. So that was my introduction to deliverance. The Lord did a really quick work, and he also gave me a song. And it was a song from Winnie the Pooh. I'm just a little black rain cloud. Of course, I can't sing it here, but that's what that was. And so that's my story, and that's my song, and that's the verse I will always remember, because anytime I forget it, I just sing it. And anyways, I will catch up back with you in a minute here. So we had a bit of a mass make today. I made 5. It didn't take very long. My verse. I wanted to just add that the Lord did all those things for me that I demanded. Not because I was special, but because he was trying to show me that he was capable of meeting all my needs. He showed me what deliverance was before I ever met anybody that so-called did deliverance. And he was showing me that I didn't need people to deliver me from anything. He is capable. His spirit, not by power, not by might, but by my spirit, says the Lord. And he is faithful, and he will do it if you trust him. Even if you just come to him with a little bit of trust that you have, he will take care of you. And so I feel like this verse, this testimony, is possibly what this little video series has been about. It took a while before I was able to open up on this level, and anyways, I hope that encourages you to reach out to the Lord with any problem you might be having today, wherever, and give Him the little trust that you have, and He will make it bigger, and He will see you through. So with that, I will just put my verse in one of these. Make sure it actually works. Like so. And then you can stick it in a pocket in your journal. Like so. And again, feel free to decorate however you like. So that's my story for today and my little project. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you again next time. Bye for now.